Hello everybody and welcome back to another Cat Stash video. Today we are continuing our series into the PlanetZoo A to Z. Today we will be looking at the Addax. So the Addax is a species of antelope, also known as a white antelope. They mainly exist in the Sahara Desert of Africa. Now according to Wikipedia, it does say that the females do lead the herd, but according to here, PlanetZoo, and I guess it kind of makes sense, is that the males lead a harem of them with a female hierarchy of the oldest female. This comes from Wikipedia. The oldest female being kind of the person in charge, but I guess the males also guard the herd of the whole thing. So, interesting note. So there's about one male and 24 females that are in this exhibit. So I don't know where the male is, but he's somewhere. Let's see if we can find him, shall we? Here we are. So if you look here really quickly, over here we have the male, and then over here we have the female, and I can't really tell the difference between them visually on what they look like. You know, actually, I think I figured it out. Maybe. Okay, so this could be completely super biased just off of these pulled out. Of these four, it looks like the male's horns are more straight and the females are more pointy. So maybe that's the difference. So with this animal, they only want desert type items, and I'll go into this later, but I think that's going to put them further down my tier list. They only want desert. So really, there's not really too much to say. According to Wikipedia and also PlanetZoo, these animals are critically endangered, and they can survive in the extreme deserts of the desert. they can survive in the extremes of the Sahara Desert. They're herbivores, pretty straightforward. I mean, there's really not much to say. They're an antelope. As for predators, we're talking humans, leopards, cheetahs, lions, that sort of thing. What you would think of as the general. I'm sure a crocodile if they got near water. So here we can see I built a little platform here with a little grazing ball up there. And it's right in front of the window, the viewing port, where people can see it. As you can see in the last video, I have my one-way glass panel design. So the animals can't really see the people, but the people can see the animals. Makes them all super nice. Yeah, as you can see here, I have a few different just structures I've kind of built. We have a nice little shade thing, a little kind of like outpost with some African drums. And then we have a nice little shelter here, where there's a bunch of grass bedding for them to kind of go in, and it's like another kind of spot for them to hang out in. Other than that, we have, it's the desert, so we're only really going to have desert-type plants from Africa. So green-wise, there really isn't going to be much, but I think that's okay given that they're a desert primarily species, and the roaming area is where there would not be traditionally a lot of vegetation. I'm pretty kind of happy with my design here that I made. I think it looks cool. It's got the nice thatch roofing on it, and then, it's got a little nice shade part in the middle for all the animals. Over here, we just kind of have another kind of structure, not really supposed to do anything, but aside from adding to the scenery of it. Here we have the water source. I'm going to go a little bit off what is recommended. Technically, this animal doesn't require any body of water. I know in the last video I said the aardvark doesn't require any water. Obviously, they do require water. They don't require any body of water. So, important distinction there. But the same thing is true with the Addax. They don't require any body of water. However, I decided to call an audible here, and I am going to just include a body of water. Now, this isn't too terribly deep. As you saw earlier, there was one that was walking kind of through. You can see this guy right here. He's running through it. So yeah, they don't require it, but I thought it would look nice, kind of gives the theme. It isn't too terribly deep. They can walk through it, and they don't actually have to swim. So I just included it, and I think in the future, if there's an African animal that only wants a desert, I'm going to throw them in this as well. I know I said I wouldn't kind of do that, but I'm kind of gonna do it. We'll play it by ear what exactly I'm gonna do, but oh, you can see a few of them running there. That's pretty fun. I was hoping to see like massive herds of them run around, but they seem to kind of be doing their own thing. And that's kind of cool that they're jumping over this rock that I've put here. I just made it just another thing to kind of change up the landscape a little bit, make it a little bit more realistic. But it is, they can seem to climb the rocks pretty well, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, like last time, there's not really much in here, and I think that's okay. It's mainly designed to, if there's like bad weather or something, they can go in here, or they can just hang out here. Obviously, that guy is really enjoying that scratching pad. Let's see if we can zoom in and get a good picture of him doing that. Actually, I think this is a she. Oh, I think she's done. But yeah, it has some nice, kind of decorum with the reeds that have kind of put along the side and up on the ceiling. You can see them there. It makes it have a little bit more flavor, so it looks not as just boring. But at the end of the day, this is not really going to have a lot going on. Maybe that's something that should be improved, but the intention of this is more of like a holding area for them. And I made it so big because, if I have to cram all 25 in here, I don't want them to be crammed like sardines or something like that. So we want to give them, a decent amount of space even when they're indoors. And if I end up including other animals in here, we're going to need more space. So I'm okay with it being a bit bigger. And like before, there's also the viewing port where you can see people. Same kind of design where it has the shaded glass for the animals, so they don't really see the people, but then the people can see. It looks like we got dinner time. That was a rare find. We're going to watch that. Yeah, so we got pretty lucky, and one of the zookeepers came up and filled their pen, so now we get to kind of watch the meat. Like I said before, they're herbivores, so they're likely going to be eating grass and certain like bushes and whatnot, basically herbivore stuff, and that seems to be what's in their little trough there. So, oh yeah, look at all of them come. Now they're hungry. It's dinner time.
Din din! I want chicken, I want liver, meow mix, please deliver.
So yeah, exterior wise, we have the same kind of building where there's going to be a viewing area, and then a person who talks, the educator, and then that building also houses the interior where the animals would be. Similar to kind of how the aardvark, it has that red clay tile, which I just like the style of. Going along the outside, and I'll go more into that, zoom in. But it's the same thing, kind of an open air design where people can go. So over here we see we can, this is kind of like that one area, and I have little stop signs. That's where the staff for the zoo would be, but then they can also come in here, and you can see there is quite a bit of people who want to come in and see what's up. Inside we have a few viewing ports. We have one here that goes out to this portion so they can see, and you can see the animals out there. They have the ones that go the interior so they can kind of see if there's Addaxes inside, or if there's worse weather, they would still be able to see the animal. Here we have the educator that can talk to the animal. Here we have a little bit of an annex or something, a little push out that can give them a better view. It actually looks like I may have to redesign something because all the people are stuck right there. We may have to remove this one, so give me 1 second. Yeah, so I removed that just because they kept getting stuck. So hopefully that kind of fixes the problem. Now there's only one seating, but I don't care. It's I'm mainly focused on the animals here. Here we can see we have kind of the same open air exhibit that I made with the last video, right? So they get some shelter from the wind and all that, but then they can still look out. They seem to be somehow getting into the window there. That one kid over there just straight up got into the exhibit. That's funny. Here I include a nice little kind of plant section. I think it's important to have greenery, not just in the zoo itself, but also in just around the zoo. I think it adds to the value. It makes it look nicer. So that's kind of what I was going with there. A nice little kind of just little oasis of green in the gray cement that I have going on. So yeah, overall, I kind of like the habitat I created for them. I think having just these little structures of the African theme, I think it just kind of adds to the whole habitat. This is a desert, so it won't look like a tropical jungle. I like having the random just kind of plant groupings. There might be some like little water puddle there that they're growing out of, and then you'll just see dead plants around, you know. But I like having the little water, little pond, I guess I'll call it. But it is very fun to look at a high level and just kind of see them, you know, running around, enjoying their habitat. I think this habitat has a lot of space, which is good. They have a lot of roaming. You know, they're not crammed into some small thing. There's a lot of room for them to move. Overall, if I had to put this in a tier list, I think I'm going to put them in C. And I think the reason why is because they only do desert items. So a lot of their compatible species, like the ostrich, gazelle, and camel, if you put those species in here, they can only have desert-type plants. You can't include the plants that those animals would want. Otherwise, the Addax would be happy. The only one that would work would be the Somali wild ass. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, I'm just going to have to rate them as a C. They're not a bad animal. It's just, and you know, it's hard to say if there's any bad animal. But, you know, you can put other species in here, and you can have a few of them. So even though you have to build a bigger habitat, you can fill it. So, you know, I think it's a C tier animal. Yeah, guys, thank you for watching my video over the Addax. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good YouTube stuff. And I will see you next time for the next animal.